Welcome back to episode 3 of the Obsessed Garage S2000 build. In this episode, we're going to get the header installed, build the exhaust, and hopefully get this started and get some sound clips for you. Then follow it up, we're going to get this thing on the dyno and see what kind of power improvements we've made. That actually looks pretty damn good. So with flaring up, we want to keep the inside diameter coming out the muffler. We don't want to expand it too quick because it makes it drone. But this is the look he's going for. He wants the 4.5 inch slash cut. So I think that is what he's looking for, and I talked to him about doing the mufflers black, which I really like because then it's going to make the tip stand out a little bit more. So now that is tacked, everything's in position, we can weld that fully. This is what my brake looks like. You see this over here. So Stop Tech used to paint or powder coat up to this ridge here and then leave this, and this is obviously the only point of contact on the pad. So you end up with this rust line around here. These are slotted, which helps with the cooling as well as relieving the gas between the rotor and the pad. But I think I'm going to sell these if you're interested in these. They have 1,500 miles on them, and as you see, they're not scorched or burnt. I'll make you a deal on them. Rotors with pads, and I'll make sure I mark the pad which goes with which rotor. That way it fits on there. As you see, there's no step in there. I'm very careful with my brakes. I don't overheat them. So I'm going to change over to the DBA 4000s. I just like the look of them. So this is the airbox. This is the section that we're cutting out to make this area larger volume. We're going to be putting a K&N filter in here. That is essentially to take some of the resonance out, and this is a resonance chamber. There's a small square in here. We cut this out. We leave a little bit of a step here, and then back here is where the air is coming in. See that? Flip it over. Right there, this is where he's pushing the air into this chamber. Also gives it one more place to drop the water out of suspension if you do go through a monsoon. So you can see it back there. There you go. It's bolted in, and the tube is going to connect to that. It actually works extremely well. I did a bunch of testing with mine, back and forth on the same stretch of road, going the same speed, and the temperature drop inside the box and then feeding the engine was a massive difference. Cool air is where you get power from, and then consistent cool air is where you get consistent power. So many times you'll see on the dyno, someone runs a tube with a filter, with the hood open, you get a decent dyno result. Close the hood, get some heat in there, the results are not the same. This is a consistent result over and over. This over here is from cutting this. I use a die grinder and it kind of fires the little hot pieces in there. But this just takes a bit of time to get out. But that's why I cut just this section, not this section, because this is where the air inlet is coming. Did it come with a complimentary C8 exhaust tip?
It did come with it.
You should make that into a drinking cup.
Look at this. What is this right here? I don't even know what this is.
Dip. That's a salad.
I think it's some kind of...
It's a cookie.
It's a cookie!
I'm
Isn't
down.
that amazing?
Philip, thank you again. Really, really appreciate it. This is so nice.
He's the best.
Stiffen it up a lot.
Yeah, our R&D is turned into, now it needs an aluminum strip, and it's in there.
And it fits in there perfect. Look at that.
Yeah, it's in that little channel.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah, that's definitely made it rigid. Yeah, one more drilling.
Another
here.
one?
I think I'm good. Yeah, I think I do one. I've got a bolt there, so. Sometimes better to be overkill. There we go. It's good.
Ready to scoop some air.
Yeah. 1,900 mile belt.
Sure, let me check.
It's like brand new.
Yeah, it's got 1900 and wait, hold on. 19 46.
So you're probably going to say, why are you changing that? It's got 1,900 miles on it. Well, it's also 18 years old.
20. It's a 2006.
Oh, it's a 2006 in it?
Yep.
It's 20 years old, that piece of rubber.
So,
And one belt runs everything. That's your water pump. You don't want that to go. This over here drives the AC and drives your alternator. One belt rules everything, so why not replace it? There is. I don't think it was a belt, I think it was a ring.
the ring. That's weird. Should have been a belt.
Look at that, still got the stitching in there. You know the guy that worked at Honda used to stitch all of those? You think he still works there?
Yeah.
He goes, yeah, I just stitch something else now.
That's all that guy's done his whole life.
So yeah, it's a shame. It's a perfect looking belt, but you know what? If this leaves and then 6 months later Matt calls me and goes, hey, I got an alternator light and it's overheating. What do you think it is? And I go, crap, I should have changed your belt. That's why we're changing it. If you go to LHTperformance.com, order one of these off our store. Esther will be glad to ship one to you as fast as she possibly can. I always like to put the right in that way. It probably doesn't matter, but the OCD in me wants the right in that way. And I think George is probably going to say the same thing. He probably does that too. It's like you're so used to looking at it that way, that's the way it needs to read. I'm sure Matt's going to say the same thing too.
Yeah.
We should put it on backwards and see if he notices. You think he'll text me and go, hey, is this supposed to be the wrong way around?
Yeah. The writing is not writing the right way.
It'd be funny. Matt and I have texted back and forth a lot over the last few months, and it's always car-related stuff anyway. Well, you might have heard him talk about, I think it was on episode 1, he's bought another EM1, and he wants us to build that one. So he's definitely a Honda guy. He has a few Porsches and BMWs, but he's a Honda guy. Once Honda's in your blood, that's it. You are a Honda guy. It's just the way it is. There's our piece right there. We're going to leave that for a minute. We need to flush the brakes and bleed them, flush the clutch. I did check this and made sure it wasn't leaking, but it looks pretty terrible. Again, 1,900 miles, but it's 20 years old. We're going to suck that out, clean that canister, and then flush in some new and bleed it. Make the clutch feel a lot better. Test it.
Yeah.
See, it works.
Yeah.
Does it feel like you got cooler air?
Yeah.
Definitely makes a difference.
I gained a couple horsepower that time.
Yeah, we should test it. You should run it down the street with that in your mouth and see if it works. We'll time you. See what kind of gains we see. All right, so we're going to use our vacuum to suck that fluid out first. So we got our panel in there with the scoop and the new metal bar, which will help the stability of this. So this is where it comes up. I've just put the clamp on it. If the size is right, it should just fit right on our box there, and then we'll connect everything back up. We're going to put the tube on for right now just to make sure everything is good. He wants us to make our titanium elbow. Even though the spoon bar is all over the rubber one, we're gonna have to kind of bring it down and around. Have to be a little creative with that. Let me put the box back together with a K&N filter and show you what it looks like. K&N air filter and the tube. I'm leaving this loose for right now because we're gonna be remaking this. So if somebody points out, hey, you left that clamp loose, I know. There is the hose going into here. So what it does, it fills this full of fresh air. The fresh air pushes through here, saturates this area, gives it some nice, cool, clean air. So this, I'm just going to put this back just so it doesn't catch on anything. And I'll put the lid back on it. We're going to leave the bar off for right now because the bar actually covers the box. And we have to take this apart for that tube. He actually asked me about trying to get a new one. And what sucks is these are discontinued. And this one has some scratches on, which if you saw when I purchased my car, it didn't have a battery in it. So the owner at the time pulled a battery out of his other car and put it in the car so I could hear it run. And the first thing he did was put the battery on here, and I cringed. I think I even cringed on camera a little bit. Needless to say, as soon as I bought the car, I purchased a new airbox lid. I wish I'd have bought like 20 of them. Anyway, that's back together. We can cross that off the list. Flush is done. Brake package, we're just gonna do one more bleed on that. Let's see, airbox and scoop. We're still got to put one of our braces on there. I've got to change the fuel pressure regulator. Let me tell you about that. This is the fuel pressure regulator from Science of Speed for 06 and 09, 06 to 09. It goes in the sending unit, increases the overall fuel pressure, because when we do our modifications, there isn't quite enough fuel for the additional power. There is, but our injectors are up in the 90%, like 90, I think we're at 90% duty cycle anyway. This is something that we did on mine and a few other cars, increasing the fuel pressure by about 3 psi, I think, but it was enough to get our fuel trims correct, not my fuel trims, my duty cycle in the low 80s. So this was perfect. Problem is, we're going to go into the back and pull the fuel pump out to get to this, but this is available. We don't sell this in the store. I should do, but Science of Speed has these. We've been using these for years. This is the master cylinder brace for the strut bar friendly. This is all one-piece billet now. This is our version 3. We've been building these since literally the day these cars came out. We used to have essentially just a sheet metal one for the strut bar friendly. The reason it's sheet metal is so there is enough material here to still have enough thread when you put a strut bar on. So we include the hardened washers, and they're designed to fit in this pocket perfectly so it sits level with this surface right here. You're going to put this together loose. I'll put this on real quick and give you a rough demo of how it works, and I'll tell you basically what the theory is behind it and how it works so well. That's all you're going to do, is it's going to screw up to here and stop. This stops the flex. When you press on the brake, you're pressing on this. The firewall actually moves before you get full pressure to the lines. This brace here stops that master moving. When you press it, gives you a more firmer pedal, more sensitive, more immediate feel from the pedal. It is amazing. We've been selling these since, like I said, the day the S2000 came out. We've sold over 1,000 braces. This is our latest and greatest, one piece, all billet, track tested, street tested, and we have it in the store, lhtperformance.com. Here we go. This is our fuel sending unit. Comes out of there, and there is our regulator. See that? That's how it comes out. You're going to remove that cap, and then the regulator slides out of there with an O-ring. That's what it looks like. It goes in this way. So the Science of Speed one right here has the O-ring. It's the same setup. It comes with new clips just in case. They usually don't have an issue coming out, but it comes with them anyway. So you're basically just going to put a little bit of your super lube on here and put it back together and snap it in. So we are back together here. This panel is a little yucky looking. So I know he had some kind of like dehumidifier thing going on. He put it in a bubble and had something that pulls that out, but I wonder if that's part of it. So I don't have Matt's super magical detail stuff, but we're gonna use ours and see if we can make that look better. What do you think? You think Matt's gonna lay that?
No.
You think Matt's gonna lay that?
No.
What's he gonna want to do?
He's gonna say.
He's gonna say, I'm gonna take.
I see streaks in it.
It's kind of dirty over there.
It's streaky.
He's gonna say, I'm gonna take that out and refinish it. Just do whatever you want.
I think we should get some Alcantara, red stitch it.
Oh man.
He'd probably still tear it out and say, you know, I'm gonna redo it.
It's mint.
It's mint, but it's also a part of he wants to do it, but I couldn't let it go back all gross and white and like streaky, whatever it was, so it looks better. The exhaust we just finished is full titanium with the largest resonator that we could fit, ceramic coated black mufflers, which is what I like, and I mentioned it to Matt and he was all in. And this is the tip that he wanted. It's 4-inch. So we're flaring out from the muffler, and then we kept the middle section as small as we can, because what happens is when the gas and noise leaves the muffler, as it expands, it tends to get deeper. That's one of the reasons to put a large diameter tip on there to get that sound. Well, if you can keep that center piece smaller diameter as long as you can, it cuts down on some of that deep tone, which is the drone. So there it is, really, really light. Give you an idea how light it is. Factory exhaust does weigh so much. So there it is. That is good. It's got the V-bend on that end. It's separated here. We made that as a slit, but it doesn't need to come apart. It's easier just leaving it all as one piece. So this is a cone fixture that we made probably a couple years ago now, right?
At least, yeah.
So it's so we can expend mainly titanium, which when you're trying to get this kind of shape, we use the press and press the titanium down here. This over here is something we added because as the titanium would press on here, it would jam, the friction would hold it on here, you'd never get it off. So we made this pin here that slides, and pull that out real quick so you can see it. You pull that out, and then it allows this to collapse like this, and then the titanium will slide off. And we've built most of our, in fact, every single S2000 titanium intake with this. But as this grips this way, this holds in place. And it's worked pretty well. You just got to make sure that you grease that thing up pretty well. If not, this will stick on there and you'll never get it off. We're essentially replicating this. So there's no power in it. I'm not gonna tell you that there is, because all it does is move air from one end to another. But the taper portion that we're building is essentially this middle section here, right there. We've seen a few intakes on the market and they just use basically a 3-inch bend. It just has a, 3-inch to 3-inch. We like to transition. This is a 3.5 at this end, 3 at this end. We're going to be removing that step and going right from the throttle body to 3, but we're trying to make it nice and gradual. The bar that he has was rubbing on this thing, so we're gonna have to be a little bit more creative with this. This we're gonna be probably bypassing. This is just bringing air from the valve cover in there. I don't want to do that because it just contaminates the inlet and the inlet manifold. You get the oil vapor on there. This one we are going to keep. This is the air temp sensor. It doesn't need to be in this spot, it just needs to be in this elbow somewhere. This would have been if it was the AP1, that is the breather for the air injection system, but it's the same elbow. They just block that off essentially, and this is a little tab to help hold the map sensor wire. So we're going to try and bring a bit of a shape in this, try and make it hump down in the middle and then come to the same spot. So a 5-pack right here means it's a 45-degree radius, same as the exhaust. Make sure you position them right. This one might bend it and swoop it down, basically a compound bend, which means a bend right after a bend. This is going to be the 3 right here, same thing. A 5-pack equals a 45-degree, and this is the loose radius. We don't need it to be really tight, we just need it to be a nice gradual bend. We're not going to use all of the 45 because this is not a 45, it's slightly over a 45, so we'll probably use maybe 7 of the bends, and then we'll put maybe 2 here to get this, maybe a 15 or a 20-degree bend right here. But we're going to replicate this to just make it look cool, which is why we're making it out of titanium and segment bends. That's what Matt wanted. These we're not going to polish, we're not going to burn them, we're just going to put it together and weld them, and then the color from the weld will make it have that really cool stripy look.
It's completely custom because of the bar.
Yeah, it's different the way we usually do it.
Yeah.
We don't want it to rub the bar. Obviously, not being rubber, it's not going to flex. It's just going to scrape and scratch. So a bit of a compound, bit of a twist, down and around.
But I think I'm going to have to shorten this to get this cone back to where 5 to 7 bends will fit in there.
Yeah. Yeah, this has to make that bend. It's what, a 45? Maybe a little bit. And a 45 takes 5 pies, which means if you look at the inside diameter, 5 of those is going to be more than this distance here. So that's how you figure where this bend needs to start. Of course, you could probably draw this digitally and come up with a a plan.
I'm sure there's a computer program that can tell us exactly what we need.
Well, we still do it the old-fashioned way.
Yeah.
This is something, believe it or not, I talk to people, not as many people can do this visually as they can digitally. Like George and I, when we look at stuff, we kind of see it and plan it as we go. It's almost like building things on the fly. And it's something I've always done, and then George kind of does the same thing. We look at something and we come up with a plan together. I just talked to Matt, and we don't know how old the gas is in this car. He bought it, and it's at half a tank. He hasn't put gas in it. We don't know if it's sat for 2 years, 5 years, 10 years. So we're going to have to drain this gas out and put some fresh gas in it. We'll just put some fresh 93. Whenever you're trying to make power, the cleaner, better, fresher gas is the way to go. Gas loses octane over time. And not to mention, with all these extras, ethanol and such in there, it actually separates. And the stuff that mixes ethanol and gas together and a few of the things will actually separate, so you don't really know what the octane is. So that's what we're going to do. Drain this out and put fresh in before we put it on the dyno. We've got to finish this first. A few other things to assemble. He's got a few little odds and ends we've got to put together. And of course, once it goes back up in the air, put the exhaust on, and then we can start it. You guys can hear the exhaust firsthand.
That's kind of where it's at right now.
Look at the clearance on our bar, right?
Yeah, it's clear.
Yeah.
Not by a ton, but it's clear.
No. Well, it's got more clearance than the rubber hose.
Yeah, that was just
The rubber hose, yeah, it was just all up in its business. So I said earlier we were not going to blue it, but we are. To get the look that we're looking for once it's all tacked together, we need to blue the whole thing, and then the welds are hotter than the blue, so then the welds will be silver and you'll have a silver stripe. It's actually that really cool titanium look to it. But look how nice that looks with the blend, with the gradual transition. It's so much better than just a pipe and a bend. It actually looks purposely built, and obviously it transitions. This is the secret repair shops don't want you to know about. So what you do is you take the gas out of your customer's car and put it in your own car, and then charge them for fresh gas. So I think there's about less than half a tank in here, and this is just the easiest way to pump it out without tripping the relay and taking the fuel system apart. There is no drain on the gas tanks on an S2000, so it's a crude way, but it works, and it's going to get the job done. So in all seriousness, the gas is probably fine, but it is probably a lower octane, and we don't want that. Obviously, we're trying to get everything we can out of it. So probably just dump it in my truck, honestly, because my truck is tuned on 87, and it doesn't care. It'll run on anything. So there's kind of an art to this. There's also a time-consuming way of doing it. You're trying to creep up on the color. We're trying to get that really nice bright blue. You can use electricity and TSB solution mix and such, but we found this actually works pretty well. So we concentrate more on the part that you can see, which is this end.
The top is up.
Yeah, so that's where we're looking. As you see, the color is starting to change. It's getting that slight copper color, and it's weird. You'll get the copper color, then it will go to a really nice yellow, and then start to go to a purple, and then it flashes past blue and goes to a pale blue pretty quick. It's pretty weird. So the thinner parts heat up quicker than the thick part. So once you start to get color on these, it's like you got to pull your heat up in here. The smaller piece heats up faster, obviously.
That's where we want our color anyways.
Yeah, exactly. We kind of make this our bright blue. This kind of goes silver, then bright blue over here, and then welding it, you get the real cool stripes.
You keep pointing, and I keep trying not to point the torch at your finger while you're pointing at it.
Well, I appreciate that, George. I use this finger a lot. This is my video pointing finger. at that, we're about done. I got it right to the very bottom. So this is a 5-gallon container. It's up to here, so 4 gallons. But whatever you can get out, it's always a good idea.
Really close to even, but it evens out a lot more after you weld it.
Especially just because of the difference in metals. You know, it's thinner in the edge and thicker on the outside, which means the thinner part heats up faster. So trying to get the heat even, and obviously we don't have an oven that's going to go up to the right temperature. So it looks pretty when it's done. Pretty much got everything out of it. The gas light's on. It doesn't even have 1 bar of fuel. So good. That's what we wanted. So here we go, putting the gas in my truck. It's one of those little perks. Of course I'm joking. I'm gonna have to go and get gas for his car and take the time to do it. So it's just one of those things. It's just good to know we got fresh gas. I did tune this truck on 87 because I wasn't trying to make all the power in the world, and it made tons of power and it gets fantastic gas mileage. So while I fill this up, you're gonna hear something crappy or see something crappy. Someone ran into Esther's car again. The last road got destroyed in a T-bone accident. I took all the pictures down because the insurance company told me I probably shouldn't talk about it, so I took it down. But anyway, they destroyed that Rogue and it was never right again. This is the newest Rogue. Esther absolutely loves this car, keeps it pristine. She's one of the few car chicks that will actually get out there after hours and wash and wax and vacuum and dress and keep the car clean. Some old giffer just couldn't make the turn in the parking lot. And this was parked at the end spot, the furthest spot away from the restaurant. She parks like me. She parks in the furthest spot away and walks. This is the restaurant. This is the road. These are all the people that like to park up front. Not ripping on the old people, but old people like to park close to a restaurant. And then you've also got, you know, some spots right here for the people, you know, there's usually disabled spots. Anyway, Esther's over here. This guy decided to come all the way over here and see if he can get in there. That's where he hit her. We're gonna get some fresh gas now. So this gas station on the corner used to be a Shell, and it got taken over by Circle K a while ago, and then it's a no-name gas. So further down this way, there is a Shell gas station, so I'm gonna get a bunch of gas so we can put it in his car and tune from there. Right now it's completely empty, so I don't even want to try and start it right now. So I figured I would get pizza for us today. We got Mark working with us, and I'm sure Esther would go for a slice of this too. Hey guys, finally hit 100. I just went to 101. Just to give you an idea what it feels like in here. That looks sweet.
I get the fingerprints off that spoon bar though.
Yeah, that's the end part. Yeah, that is a trick. So one last thing we're going to do is we're going to run a breather. We don't want to run it into the arm here, because what happens ends up getting in the manifold. Like I mentioned, you get an oily vapor yuck in there. We're going to actually run it into the breather box, into this, what would have been the resonator right there, just so any vapor, any smell goes in the box and the smell gets ingested into the motor as opposed to straight oil vapor. Last thing to go on, Vitasonic probably did. That right there is the battery tie. I left that out. I left it wrapped up so you could see it.
You just had a great idea. The LHT V3 battery tie is in the shape of a necktie with our logo on it. So it looks like a sharp-dressed man with a battery.
That might be actually quite popular. The LHT battery necktie. There it is. Look how beautiful that is. So we got the same kind of theme going on, the black anodized and the laser etching. You thought I was going to drop it then, didn't you? I had my finger through it. So it replaces that. So rather than using the nuts right here, we change it. We put a threaded coupler on that thread right there and a nice countersink Allen to give it more of a custom clean look. So we put gas in it, but it's taken forever to register. We turned the car on and off a couple of times. It's just surprising how long it takes to calibrate. I guess that's so that as you go over bumps, that doesn't bounce up and down and show you, you know, different levels, or if you're going uphill, that kind of thing. It takes a while to kind of steady out, but that's surprising how long it's taken. Maybe we should put a little zip tie on there. Is it going to hold away from it?
Put it on those wires there.
Yeah, just to hold everything together.
Yeah, because I took the clips off because we took that whole thing off.
So now we have it going into that box. It's pretty clean looking. It looks like it's got a purpose. So pretty good, pretty much good to go. Battery tie is on. That's pretty much it. I just uploaded the calibration from the last NA car, which was mine. So we should be pretty close. You want to do the honors, George? That's our exhaust right there. It's a pretty trick. Satin black in there, you can't see the mufflers.
Did you ever drive a car that didn't have a thing on the gas like that?
What, a gas gauge?
No, a buffer in the sense of words.
Yeah, the old cars, yeah.
Yeah.
You hit a bump and it's like a boat.
Yeah, I had a 78 AMC Concord for a little while, and you hit a speed bump and the gas gauge does
Yeah,
this.
you go uphill and you got all kinds of gas. You go downhill and you're out of gas.
Yeah.
It is kind of bizarre. I mean, this one was the most delayed.
Yeah, it's only at 3 bars. We put
Was that-
5 gallons in it.
A little over that.
I mean, when I put gas in my car at the gas pump, you fill it up with the key off, you turn the key on, it's all the way up.
I'm the same way. By the time I get in, it's up.
Weird.
This is actually pretty close. It said it's 100 degrees. Temperature gauge said IAT is 97.
This is 95 in here, so.
All right, well, they're all agreeing.
Ready?
Yeah, let's do it. It's definitely got a bit more exhaust sound now.
Yeah.
You hear that? Let's do a cold idle. Definitely a little bit of sound. It was like a vacuum cleaner when we first started it. There's no sound at all. So engine-wise, we haven't really changed anything apart from, you know, intake, header, and exhaust. Essentially is all we've done. We checked it and it idled smooth. We checked the fuel trims, everything seemed in check. So I didn't get into pulling injectors out and cleaning it. I didn't think it needed it. I mean, Matt gave us the okay to do pretty much anything we wanted. We didn't see a reason to take it apart, so we did. We're gonna let it warm up. We'll burp the gas a little bit, give you some sound clips. We've got to look over everything, and then it's ready to tune, honestly. I don't think Ben needed to do anything special with the diff to break it in. I mean, we'll burp it up down the street first.
OEM style gears and an OEM diff, isn't it?
Yeah. I don't think it really requires anything.
Yeah, the only ones that are weird are the OS kick-ins, so you need to like change the diff fluid out like immediately after or something.
Yeah, you do so many figure eights, I think.
Yeah.
They're noisy too. We've done a couple of those.
The OEM diff, it's probably a used OEM diff anyways. I don't know if he rebuilds them or not. I don't know all of Ben's magic. He
I don't
keeps
know.
it secret.
Yeah, he does. I don't know. I don't know if they're rebuildable or not. I mean, it looked like brand spanking new on the inside when he's done with them. So RPMs are coming down now. I'm gonna give it some revs. It's a different car now. I can't wait for Matt to drive this thing. It's going to be entirely different. He's like changed so much: suspension, brakes, engine package. It's going to be a different car. So we're up to temperature. I'm going to get George to take it for a quick drive, just in the most comfiest seat ever. All right, so you're going to be the first one to drive this thing. I want to see how low this is when we get it outside. This is definitely lower than what we usually go. I mean, it doesn't have the interior in yet. I mean, that's what he wanted. I mean, he wanted it lower. It's tuck in the tire. He's going to put 150 pounds worth of interior in it. He's probably going to put stereo in it, knowing man.
I don't know how much, but definitely.
I don't think he's going to go nuts, but he's definitely going to put stereo in it. I'll go to the end. I'll get some sound clips of it. Don't beat on it, but you know.
Oh, I mean, I can't send it to you.
No, you hit the brakes, you'll slide forward. You hit the gas, you slide out of it. And obviously go careful going up the driveway because it is slammed in the front.
Yeah, we got the lip yet. Do that last so that we don't scrape it.
Yeah, we'll put the lip on right before it gets delivered to him. I mean, it's straighten the wheel a little bit. It's too low for me. What did Matt say he is? 46?
Something like that.
Come back in another 8 years, Matt. You're going to raise it up. That's the way I'm at. I'm like, yeah, it's too low for me. It looks good. It's just too low for me.
Like, I guess I'll do 2 loops so you can record one.
Yeah, okay. To take it for a quick drive. So my car has this exact same setup. In fact, we built the header off my car to make sure it fit everything correctly before we sent out for ceramic coat. Now I have no seat belt, no seat, so it feels sketchy as all. So I'm not going to record this bit because I'm going to grip the wheel with both hands because it's just odd feeling. Brakes certainly grab. I underestimated those. I just hit the brakes and the camera flew out of my hand and went under the pedal somewhere. So the brakes are definitely tight. When I hit the brakes, my whole body weight slings forward and it activates the brakes even harder because I mean, very weird. You got a Schweidenöfen.
Yeah, with a key.
Is it really?
With a freaking key.
This is German technology.
What kind of?
You haven't used a key in years, have you?
I have to use a key.
You just usually carry your purse and cars work.
It's really strange. And there's no button on the outside, so I gotta mess with the settings. I don't know how to lock the door without pushing the button.
It's German, you know that, right? You gotta yell at it.
No, I stop.
Rather than talking to it, you yell at it.
Let's all pile into the minivan and go get some frozen yogurt!
So on the next episode, see us get the car on the dyno, start tuning, see what kind of gains we're going to get. Play with the VTEC changeover, maybe get some drive-in shots, and then call Matt and give him the good news, tell him it's ready. I'm not sure if Matt is going to get a chance to drive it because he's working at doing a garage restoration somewhere else in the country. Sounds fantastic, doesn't it?
It really does.
I get a sound clip from here.